What's up, guys? Hey guys, excited to have you here. The hardest part is starting. Really, I don't know how to do a good start. Well, let's try this. Hey guys. No. Hey. Hey. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and excited to have a crew question coming from you guys. This one comes from Brian Miller. His Twitter handle is bmiller4him, and his crew question, which is a great one, is all about how do you engage those students who feel like they check the leaderboard and they are clearly too far behind to actually catch up. This is a great one. This question needs to be tackled by us, because the reality is we're going to have students who excel and get to the top, and that doesn't mean they have to be our A students, but in our game world they're going to have these guys that are up at the top, and inevitably there's going to be those that are in the middle and those at the bottom. How do you sort of interact with them and not have them sort of lose zeal or zest? So if that feels like something you guys want to chit chat about, stick around. I just really love coffee. Yeah, got my daughter's Hello Kitty here, mug. Okay, let me just put this down. I'm really jazzed to get started talking about this. Trying to make this video short because you guys know I can ramble on and I can talk about this stuff all day long. But knowing that you guys want to just know a quick crew question on this, if you want me to later do a bigger, vlog on it, I would be happy to. But to kind of get down to the point is, the larger your game is, the bigger it is, the more you add, the more you do, the more things you have in there actually for these other players, right? So you have this leaderboard and clearly somebody's winning. And what you want to do is you want to avoid what's called the Jeopardy effect, this idea where they look at the leaderboard and they say, hey, there's just no reason for me to play anymore. These other kids are going to win. You want to avoid that, right? So we want to avoid that disengagement. So one way to do that is have some hidden points. So in my game, my year-long game, I have this public leaderboard that is just the sum total of all of their XP. However, right, I also have a bunch of XP that they don't see, and that's in the form of my badges. All of my badges are worth points, and they can't see those points. They don't know what those points are worth. So this idea that, like this other house is already going to win, there's no reason for us. You're like, but don't forget about the badge points. That's one tip. Tip number 2, which is a huge one, is do things for those lower players, right? You're not anymore shackled to the sort of structure of school, the way you knew it and the way that you went to school and the way you were trained for teaching. You're not shackled to that anymore. You're a game designer. Tap into that game design. You could have things that only benefit lower players, that only benefit the mid players, right? You could try to work on collaboration and create sort of items or side quests that the two have to work together, the top and the bottom. Like, get out of that idea that you can only reward top performers, and thus the top performers get even more, the rich get richer kind of effect. You can switch it on them. You can all of a sudden make it the best to be at the bottom for a little bit. Your third tip here is going to be, quite simply, help the lower players out. Make it more beneficial for lower players to turn in side quests. Make it more powerful for those lower players. Create an item that allows them to form a band, right? And then I have this in my game where a band of lower players can work together on something, on a side quest, and those kids all end up getting the side quest points as opposed to splitting them. So what I mean is, you can make a traveling band, and this traveling band could be a group of students that are choosing to work on a side quest together, but they have to be, the lower half of the leaderboard, or they have to not be on the leaderboard for some of those that only make the top 20 public or something like that. My last tip for you guys, right? And this one's big, pay attention. My last tip for you is to think about creating micro leaderboards. Micro leaderboards are something different than the main focus. So if I'm already like top whoop whoop excited to be on your leaderboard, but then we have these other people that aren't on that and they don't care about that anymore, start to have these other currencies that they can sort of be leaders in. You know, have gold and somebody can be the richest. I have battle points and like make them the richest on battle points. So then all of a sudden you have these various micro leaderboards that can start to say, hey, I'm really good at this. Like while you are the best in terms of XP, I might be the best in terms of BP. This kid over here might be the best in terms of gold. So having those different various currencies can really help this out. One other bonus tip on these micro leaderboards is in my leaderboard, if you bought that, there is a function where you can click and see sort of growth over time, right? So you could define what a quarter was on your leaderboard, and you could say, hey, in this quarter, you know, you actually scored the most. While you still might be ranked 12th or something, or 25th, you scored the most. Hey, Billy, you actually jumped the most ranks. Good job this quarter, right? So this data that they never see, you can start to highlight that data. And then you could also build items around that data. So if somebody jumped the most, if somebody earned the most this quarter, right? Whatever. You look for those different data points that'll highlight different students. And if you look at those different data points and it highlights the same students, don't use it. It's fine. Those are my tips for you, Brian, and those are my tips for the rest of you out there. I hope you check out the rest of this channel. I love having you guys along for the ride. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're into that sort of thing, smash it. That way you get these updates and we can sort of continue to interact. As always, I really appreciate your time, and submit another crew question for you guys out there if you have one. I'll put the link below. Check out the other videos. There's lots here for you on gamification and education. Until next time, peace out.